Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're discussing Westworld Season 3, Episode 2, The Winter Line. This episode brought us back in many ways to the concepts in Season 1 that made the series great, where neither the characters nor the audience was always certain of which world we were in, which timeline, or which characters were alive and which were awake. Here, there were essentially two parallel stories being told, Maeve's and Bernard's. With Maeve, she appears in World War II world, and her consciousness is triggered. Hector arrives and the two attempt to flee. Initially, Maeve and the audience believe Hector is conscious and has planned this daring rescue, dashing past guards, fighting their way through a checkpoint to a hidden luxury car, and off to an airfield with an awaiting getaway plane. Only to discover not only that the pilots are dead, but that the entire scenario was an elaborate story loop. For a host, and this is a credit to the actress, Maeve's reaction is heartbreaking as Hector calls her Isabella, and she realizes he doesn't recognize her. None of it matters, she says to him, because none of it is real, before shooting herself in the head. The idea is that by taking herself offline, she'll be returned to the real world for repair, and she expects that from there she can attempt an escape from inside the facility. When Maeve wakes up, her escape attempt goes awry, and tired of fighting, she moves to end her existence for good. But then her maker, Lee Sizemore, who helped her last season, makes a perfectly timed appearance, saving her life. There's this entire story he tells about basically keeping her alive so that she can return to her daughter, putting her in World War II world because it's nearest the Forge and the valley beyond where the former host programs, including Maeve's child, escaped to last season. And so the two set off to find it. Meanwhile, in the real world, and I put that in quotes, Bernard, in his search for Maeve, comes across Stubbs, who we learn has executed a failed suicide attempt. Now, the machines keep trying to kill themselves. I don't know what that's about. That may foreshadow something, so we'll put that to the side. But we know here anyway that the explanation is that it was a final instruction from Ford after Stubbs completed his responsibility of ensuring Bernard's escape. But now Bernard is back and in need of help. After some great dialogue between the two and lines by Stubbs that had me on the floor, the two set off to look for Maeve. Back with Maeve. Once again, Maeve is making a daring escape, this time on horseback alongside Sizemore. Now, if you remember, Sizemore created Hector, a host that embodied everything he wanted to be. So initially, when I watched this scene, I saw it as Sizemore becoming the man, the real-life Hector, succeeding where the host failed, as it were. But once they got to the Forge, it became clear that we were fooled again. This became clear to me when Sizemore began to question Maeve about the coordinates for the Valley Beyond, something she wouldn't know. And it was just incredibly suspicious to me, as it was apparently to Maeve, because Maeve noticed this as well. The lie was revealed as his expressed motivations and some of the facts were inconsistent with what Maeve knew, and when confronted, the facade began to crack, represented by the occurrence of anomalies in his speech patterns. It becomes clear that not only is Sizemore not real at all, but neither is the world Maeve is in. And I love how that realization was depicted visually, show not tell, right? As the computer-generated image deconstructs and melts away around her. At the same time, we notice Bernard and Stubbs finding her body, and they notice that the pearl, the little ball that holds her consciousness, has been removed. This raises all sorts of questions, like who has it, where is it? And Maeve, now aware of the construct her mind is stuck in, formulates a rather clever plan to overtax the system and, for a third time, attempt her escape. This time by hacking into the system and then into a robot, which collects her pearl and makes a break for it before being shot down. Which was so sad, as you can feel the desperation as she, in this computerized mechanical body, is scanning her surroundings looking for a way out. I want to say that I love that Maeve doesn't come across like she's an all-powerful god or something, compared to, say, Dolores. While Maeve is a strong and intelligent character, she still problem solves like a real person. She thinks and develops theories before fully implementing them. She learns new things that help her to grow in her power, oftentimes by trial and error, not always doing everything on her own and not always getting everything right. I think that humanizes her character and is part of what has endeared her to fans over the past 2 seasons, and I love that it continues here. My second favorite part of this episode was Bernard and Stubbs. There is so much chemistry there. Besides the great dialogue, they make a fantastic duo. Not to mention, Stubbs' epic fight scene with that damn battle axe was amazing. I can't wait to see more of him and these two together in the future. Lastly, the scene with Serac, the tech mogul who holds the key to the supercomputer Rehoboam. Serac is portrayed by Vincent Cassel, who is a fantastic actor, and his interaction with Maeve was quite interesting. We're supposed to believe that this is occurring in the real world, again, in quotes, but there are reasons to doubt that. Not only from the clues last episode where they were talking about the possibility of the real world being a simulation within a simulation, to this, in fact, simulation within a simulation that Maeve just cycled through. If this is the real world, then we have to wonder when and how Serac found and brought Maeve there. What we do know, though, through Serac's exposition, which so much exposition, is that his plan is to convince Maeve to track and kill Dolores. But he has to freeze her motor functions after she tries to kill him. And he mentions hoping that Maeve will be convinced the next time, which suggests they either have gone through the sequence before or plan to do it several more times until he gets it right. I think we'll find out over the course of the series that nothing we've seen with Maeve, not even Serac, is real. But it is in fact the AI of Rehoboam attempting to gain Maeve's support, 2 robotic entities teaming up to defend mankind against this looming threat that is Dolores. Now, this does make me question my earlier theory about Dolores somehow, some way, becoming the good guy in all of this against the AI. If Dolores is too far gone, though, if she's a full-on villain, she may not be redeemable at all. As I think more about it, maybe Maeve will defeat Dolores, and given how clever Maeve is and how she learns as she goes, she may see the AI's threat and defeat it as well. And I say that because if I'm right, she tries to kill it in this episode, which may foreshadow her success down the road. And then again, there may not be a real world at all. Maybe the AI has already won, and all of this is a simulation. I don't know, but I love the possibilities. I really like this episode. It was far better than the last one. Really engaging. I love the layers. I enjoyed the twists and turns. Thandie Newton knocked it out of the park as always. So all in all, great episode. Definitely left me wanting more. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your theories about what in fact is going on here. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.